What is up with it? Today we are watching the grand finals of the Edinburgh Regional. This is going to be a Lucci mirror match between Kevin and Christian, two champions who have won with black decks before. So I imagine this is going to be a really great final. I am personally excited to watch it. As someone who has been playing Emu myself, a lot of people do not feel that good about the Emu mirror. It's kind of a weird mirror. Who is ahead can sometimes feel a bit ambiguous because the turns can be such huge swings. And I'm really excited to see how these two phenomenal players navigate this. I believe Kevin is going to Worlds, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he is qualified for Worlds. Okay, so Christian going first. Gonna go ahead and play down this St. Charlos. Looks like he has a Radbeam, a Shirahoshi, a Saturn, and a Jupiter in hand. And then Kevin having 3 counter events, 2 2Ks. I want to say that's the horse and the boar. Yep. Okay. So we're definitely going to see Saturn come down here. I wonder if he's going to start with leader skill, and he is. He's going to start with leader skill pitching the GARP event. Events typically not as playable in this matchup as they are most. You have a very limited window of when you can play them. I have to imagine we're going to grab... Okay, we're grabbing the bird. I believe this is because Kevin did not put enough cards in trash. Yeah, he is not milled of any kind. So if he tries to play down something like a Saturn, we are going to be able to just remove it. However, he did find a mill, so that would put him to 4. He still can't get there. I wonder if we are thinking about... Okay, I know what he's thinking about based on the way he's thinking about it. He's thinking about if he can get to 7, and he cannot. He's worried about getting birded on the clapback. And I think here, Kevin is considering just playing the horse, but decides against it. The horse is not really going to be live. Have to imagine we're going to grab the Charlos. Creative way to grab the cards there. It's like he went to go grab the Charlos, but he knows that if he truly committed to grabbing it, he would be committed to grabbing it, so he kind of shuffled them around, it looked like. Also, not bad to expose all 3 cards like that when you're doing a search, because if you have them kind of hidden and then you grab one and you reveal that, you're committed to revealing that. Or you're committed to grabbing it, but you can kind of change your mind right there real quick if you don't. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play out the Workery. I have to imagine we're always committing, to this bird line here. I'm wondering what we're going to pitch. Yep, it makes sense. We don't really need the spell. I will say one of the really nice things for Christian is getting all these spells out of his deck now. Honestly, I personally would feel better from Christian's perspective right now. I know some people really feel like you got to go second in the mirror. But for sure, if the person going first gets to Mars you on 5, that's a pretty big deal. And I think, I think this is a pretty solid position for Christian. He is at risk of getting Marsed back. 3, 6, 7, 8. We only have 8 in trash as Kevin, so the horse is not live yet. Not unless we play some sort of Miller. But we do have the Charlos, so we can always, because now we have 9, we can always Charlos horse. Gonna go 5. This leads me to believe that he's not going to horse. Looks like he's instead going to try and Saturn dig for a second 4. I think this turn's going to be pretty disastrous if he doesn't find it, but he does. Oh wait, he might have already had one. He might have. I think he actually already has one. Yeah, he has the boar. But he's gonna grab another Saturn. Makes sense. Not a whole lot in that search to grab. We already have a Jupiter. We already have a horse. Um, I wonder what he wants here the most. Uh, I could see a world where he wants an Elder here. And I think that's, yep, what he's grabbing. I'm so jealous of these alt-arts. They're so gas, man. They're so gas. I've never wanted to alt a deck before, but Emu is the one time I've wanted to. And I just can't. There's just no one has the playset to sell to me. It's truly tragic. It's actually so insane that no one on the planet has a playset of Emu alt arts that they're willing to sell. Okay, gonna go ahead and play down this Peter. Playing Peter on 7. I'd like to look back at his hand. I wonder what his other options were. Peter on 7, definitely a great play, but sometimes you prefer to reserve it for the 9 Dawn turn. But looking at his hand, he didn't have a lot else going on, so I get it. As much as I said that this was in Christian's favor, I could see this going back to Kevin. Kevin has the 10 drop for when it comes back to his 10 drop turn. And he's going to get to swing in. Okay, there's no way we're countering both of these. So I'm a little confused why we're not just taking the first one. I guess he's maybe worried about the next one being an 8. I don't know if that's real. I feel like Christian probably would have gone 6-7-7 instead of 5-7-8. Okay, we're gonna 2K 1K that. We're gonna take, I guess, just really wanting to be careful of that 8 swing, just in case if we took Christian, tried to sneak that in. I'm not entirely convinced that that was something that would actually happen, but I understand why Kevin was worried about it. I have to imagine we're gonna pitch this 3 cost spell or +3 counter, just because Christian is almost certainly gonna swing back into our board when it comes back to him. I imagine this is a Jupiter Charlos moment and leave up a Dawn. Swinging 5 to me when the opponent has a Dawn up at this stage of the game is always so scary. I'm always so worried that they're gonna Garp event me. Okay, gonna go 7, which is gonna be met by a Rad Beam, and then 7, which is gonna be met by the Charlos. So something I will be interested to see here is if Christian ends up turning this Jupiter sideways or not. His hand looks a little weak at the moment. I mean, first of all, only 3 cards. Not great. We are going to start with the search event. Really digging for a playable. Oh, wow. Not looking for the Shalria there, but, you know, at least Shalria is going to let us. Oh, okay. We're going to go for the event. Think we're kind of priced into grabbing the 10 drop here because we don't have one. Okay, this is really going poorly for Christian at this point. Disaster has struck. The clock has struck midnight. It's currently looking like the fairy tale is over. We having to waste 3 Dawn on this turn just to find anything is disastrous. 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 7 Dawn left. Off of this Shalria, I think he really needs to find a horse. I think that's really the only thing he can find that would be particularly good at this point. He could horse and still have up a Don. Or he can swing like 6 with leader. But he probably won't swing 6 with leader. I mean, you have to Shalria. Surely. Surely you have to Shalria here. I'm not even sure what he really thinks the other option is. He hasn't leader skilled yet. I guess he's worried about if he Shalria's here, he does have to pitch one of his 10 costs. I don't remember us bottoming any. So I feel like I'm a little less worried about that than Christian is. Okay, Warkery is arguably the second best thing we could have found. After the horse, in my opinion. I mean, that's not true. Second best thing was probably Saturn find Warkery. But that's kind of more of a 2-card combo. Okay, so going 7 to 5. We have how much Dawn? We have, okay. So this could be 3 7s. That would make a lot of sense. I wouldn't hate to see us Garp event here. But instead gonna let it go. I wonder why he chose to let that one go. I mean, this is the only turn we get a Garp event. We have to Garp event here. I wonder what he's thinking about, because to him this seems like a decision, and to me it does not. See, I kind of wanted to Garp event the first one and block the second one. I think when you do that, you put the opponent on having to swing a real number. He swung the Jupiter. Okay, real. Real. I wasn't sure if he was going to be honest. Or no, that's his 9 Dawn turn. Of course he was. He didn't swing it. Or no, yeah. Honestly, it's not a given that he'd swing it there. Because once we put this Jupiter sideways, we lose infinity pressure next turn. So that was actually not a given. Okay, gonna sack that, draw a card. We do have the Elders. We can go ahead and pitch whatever we want. I guess it's just gonna be the 1K. That seems reasonable. I could see a world where he doesn't want to pitch the Nesturo because he's worried about what if he doesn't find another 10 cost for next turn. But I don't know. He has not bottomed any to my knowledge. So our chances of finding another one feels pretty reasonable here. A lot of the time we're going to take a damage next turn. Oh, he does not find one. I mean, this is a Mars pickup, right? You cannot grab that. Okay. Okay, he caught himself. He caught himself. That's good. Okay, so just going to clean up the board and pass. Playing this a little bit slower is a little bit scary from Kevin's perspective, if you don't find another 10 cost, I think. But he will simply find another 10 cost. Okay, so we're starting by swinging 7 at 5 here. Deciding that we don't want to get, or it's 5 at 5, my apologies. Deciding that we don't want to get too fancy with like swinging at life and then minusing it. Gonna go ahead and soul charge out the 5 amigos. Never mind. Wow, even though we played those 3 searchers, this is insane. Even though we spent last turn, fuck it. Wow, his deck is so thin. There's no Nesjuro in there? Wow, that's crazy, actually. I didn't even realize there's no Nesjuro in his trash. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Oh my goodness, that is insane, actually. That is, like, really, really bad for him. Kevin actually might not even need another 10 cost to win this game is the craziest part. But he might actually just have it. I think he does actually just have it. He must have drawn it, I think. Yeah, I mean, Christian's getting friggin' cooked here. Wow. Missing the Nesjuro there was devastating. To have such a terrible turn where you have to play all those searchers and still not find it, that's crazy. Okay, we can go ahead and take. And one more 7. We're going to counter here. I'm a bit surprised we didn't block there. I guess we can still block this last one. Top 5. Kevin playing with really great pace here. I'm a fan. Really playing with a snappy pace here. Okay, looks like we're leaning towards grabbing Saturn. Nope. Okay, gonna go ahead and grab the 10 cost. I'm interested in the fact that Kevin thinks he's gonna need another one of these 10 costs. To me, I feel like the game is not gonna go that long. I could surely be mistaken, but maybe he feels like he can't. Yeah. And Christian, still no Nesjuro. Gonna go ahead and concede there. Maybe Kevin felt comfortable grabbing another 10 cost there just because Christian didn't have the Nesjuro. So feeling like the game could definitely go longer. Okay, so we'll get to see if Christian goes first or second this game, which will tell us a lot about who won dice in game 1. I mean, Kevin had seeding, it looks like, so he probably got to choose. Kevin with the keep. I didn't get to see the hand. Christian also keeping. Okay, Kevin with a searcher and a 4-drop and a Mars makes sense why. Okay, we have to snatch up a 10 cost here. I mean, it's just absolutely mandatory. We don't have a choice. And our hand actually has like not really any good pitches in it. I guess it's gonna have to be the Shalria. I mean, yeah, there's no way we can let two of those. Oh, wow. Pitching the Charlos. I'm a little surprised by that, actually. Charlos being so good in this matchup. And could definitely come down on that 5-Dawn turn. We also will get enough in trash if we play the Charlos. We don't need the second searcher to fill our trash necessarily. So I'm really surprised by that. I'm really surprised by that, actually. I think we drew into the Saturn for turn. I have to imagine we are going to play the Saturn. And Kevin agrees. I believe we have all of the animals that are in this search. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him just grab either Jupiter or the boar. Either one would be reasonable. If we think that we're going to play 2 more 4 costs by the time we awaken, then grabbing this makes a lot of sense. And I think that's very likely. I think it's very likely we play one this next turn. And I think it's very likely that... Oh, and Christian also countering out of this first swing is really interesting to me. I wonder if that's to try and play around some Shirahoshi stuff. That would be my guess. He wanted to counter there just to make sure he didn't take and then get Shirahoshi'd on this turn, as this is a turn that's pretty easy for the going second player to Shirahoshi. I can't see exactly what's in the search. There's definitely a rad beam in there. I think we have... What are we searching with exactly? We're searching with Saturn? Okay. I'm so tripping. Kevin is going first this game, so he could not even Shirahoshi on this turn. Yeah, I'm not actually exactly sure why we countered that first hit. To be honest, I actually genuinely don't know. If we were hoping to get cards in trash... I mean, it is true that if we counter that one and we found a spell or a Shalria here, we actually would have gotten the cards in trash. So I suppose he countered with the hopes of finding the spell or the Shalria off the top. I guess that's reasonable. That's reasonable. Okay. But we're failing the Mars check. Pretty insane that 2 games in a row this has happened. The stage does not get spun sideways. Yeah, judges are telling him you don't rest it. Okay, finding a 3-cost spell off of our life there. Not exactly what you want to see as Christian. I feel like Kevin should be swinging this Saturn. But he disagrees. Huh. I wonder why. Okay. My theory would be Kevin feels like after you do this maneuver, you are so ahead on board. And he also wanted to take this life. Okay, he wanted to take this life. And he feels like he's ahead enough on board where he didn't want to get horsed. Granted, Christian does not have enough cards in hand to horse, but he could. Okay, gonna go ahead and grab the 10 drop. What was I gonna say? He could always like spell or Shalria and then horse. I'm really surprised we didn't start by pitching the 3-cost spell. Or the 3k counter spell, pardon me. I'm not exactly sure why we would search there first. I'm not sure there was really any upside in searching there first. I mean, sometimes you want to search first just in case you like, just in general, like maybe you might search before you draw just in case you like find a Shalria so that way you can still use the draw on the Shalria. But this was definitely not one of those cases. So I'm not exactly sure why we would do that. I'm going to go ahead and go 5. We're going to take this second one. And then this third one, I imagine we will counter. So both players being most comfortable at 2 here, it would appear. Here we'd normally want to try and double 4, which I believe Kevin has. And he can either play down a Charlos. Okay. We're going to go ahead and grab the 4K spell here. I'm wondering why exactly he was thinking there. My only guess would be he didn't want Christian to know that was the only grab. I'm not exactly sure. But we have a couple spells in hand, which is not bad. We're going to be able to liquidate both of them this turn and next turn for sure. Does Christian have the Jupiter here? Based on the fact that he's starting with this, I'm going to go out on a limb and say no. Wow. Christian cannot hit curve for the life of him. I'm kind of feeling a Kevin 2-0 sweep here. I'm not going to lie. Okay, grabbing the Shalria. I think deciding that the horse is just not going to be strong enough. We have to find the Jupiter. Oh, we have the Jupiter. What is happening right now? Legit, what is happening? Are we missing one of the pieces? What are we missing? We're missing... we have the horse this time. Maybe we're missing Mars. Okay, going 5 to 5 at the Mars. This is swiftly going to be met by a counter. And it is a 2K, in fact. Gonna go ahead and play down the Jupiter. I imagine one of these will be countered out with a Rad Beam. And the second one, depending on how much we want to commit, is either going to be 2K, 1K, or we're going to block with War Curry. Okay, we're going to let it go. Drawing the 3K spell. Drawing for turn. I imagine this 3K spell is going to be our pitch for the turn a majority of the time. We're going to be able to trade back into Christian's board. Something I'm going to be interested in seeing is, are we going to trade into the War Curry or just the Saturn and then send the rest face? A lot of players will trade into this War Curry in that spot. And I think that Kevin is likely to ignore it. I think he is likely going to ignore this War Curry. We're always playing Jupiter this turn. Are we playing anything beside it? I don't think so. I think we're likely to leave some Dawn open. Depending on Christian's hand size, it is possible that we will be putting down a Shirahoshi. But that really depends on Christian's hand size. Okay, just going to start with a 5 to the Saturn. Christian also having no Dawn up here. Kevin struggling to get the 6 Dawn together, it would appear. We're going to go ahead and go 7 to 5. It's going to die. So is he going to ignore it? Only 4 cards in hand, and yep, it looks like he signaled this is going straight to the dome. This is going to your leader. We're going to go ahead and block. I don't think we have anything to do with this 3 Dawn. Okay, we do have something. Okay. And just going to go ahead and grab the Warcry. No problem. And we're going to pass with 2 Dawn up. So not wanting Christian to know that we only have 1 event, not wanting him to know that we weren't going to just play another 4-drop on the board. Okay, Christian getting the chance to play the first 10-drop here. This game is definitely not over. Oh, wait, we have double Rad Beam. This is insane. We actually get to keep so much of the board here. Wow, I did not realize he actually had 2 of these. I thought he only had 1. Okay, this is actually really insane. I think Kevin is supposed to counter 2 of these with 2 Rad Beams 100%. Like, to me, this is a pretty easy Rad Beam off the rip. To me personally, I'm not exactly sure what he's counting. I would love to know. He's thinking about something that I am not thinking about, that is for sure. Because I'm firing off this Rad Beam instantly. Yeah. Okay, gonna go ahead and leader skill, draw a card. The Empty Throne. A perfect pitch for our 10 cost. Oh, this one we're not Rad Beaming, really. I don't exactly understand why we wouldn't just Rad Beam off the rip. I mean, we kind of know what the swings are going to be. We know there's going to be a 10 cost coming down doing his thing. But just in case there's not, you know, I just want to counter out with the 1 card while we can. It's not impossible that the opponent misses the 10 cost here and like has to play a horse and do some like insane swings. I mean, if they do that, we just win, to be honest. But all right, I imagine we're grabbing a 10 cost here. I don't think he has a second one in his hand. No, grabbing the Jupiter. Okay, so maybe he does. Wow, there's 2 in that search though. But I mean, we realistically probably only want to play 2 anyways. Maybe he does. I think I might have seen it. Gonna go 7 at the bird, minusing the Saturn, and then we're gonna go 5 of the Saturn. And I imagine that this will perish. And Kevin does have 2 10 drops in hand. So if he can just try and get some resources out of Christian. Gonna start with a 7, the leader. And we're gonna go ahead and block with Warcry. Makes sense to start 7 leader there as Christian is only at 1 life. I wonder if Kevin would have started with that 7 if Christian was at 2. I feel like he might not. He might have started just at the Nesturo at that point. But Kevin does have a healthy enough hand where he knows that he would live next turn regardless. It's definitely possible. Definitely possible. Gonna go ahead and go 7 to leader. Which is going to be met by a 2K, 1K. Giving up the horse here is pretty telling for Kevin. It means that Christian doesn't have any more 1Ks in his hand that he wants to give up. So I actually low-key just kind of want to see what happens if we go 5 as the next action. I mean, I think what's actually going to happen is we're going to pop the 10 and minus the thing and then swing 5 at 3. I'm sure that's probably what we're going to do. But it would be cool to swing the 5 here and just say, hey, I know you have no more 1Ks. Thinking about what we wanted to pitch, and we're pitching the 10 cost off the 10 cost. So saying there's not going to be enough turns in the game for me to play another one regardless, which I think is pretty astute. Are we grabbing the horse or are we grabbing the 2K? I think we're grabbing the horse. Yeah. We already have like 3 2Ks in our hand. Our opponent's going to be swinging 7, so it's not like we need all 2Ks. And the horse just gives us the flexibility to go for game next turn. Okay, and I think we're going 7 to 3 here. I mean, maybe it's 7 to life, but I think this is 7 to 3. Maybe it was 7 to life, because otherwise it doesn't make sense to block there. It must have been 7 to life, and just he was pointing at the Nesturo to minus it. Okay, this Nesturo is... Oh, okay, 5 to lead. Okay, really emphasizing, look, I am not looking to play another turn after this. This is the last turn of the game. Whereas Christian definitely is not going to seal up the game here. So he has to find a way to float for another turn that likely involves both forcing blockers and killing this Nesturo. At least one blocker. We're only at 1 life. We'll have 2 blockers. That's 3 swings that we can absorb. We know Christian has the horse. That means there's going to be 6 swings coming at us. 3 7s and 3 8s if I'm not mistaken. If that is the case, we are going to need 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 to survive. Not an easy task. We need Kevin to have to block one of these. If he does not have to block any of these, we are cooked. And I don't believe he will. The question is he willing to go for it? And I think he is. Just taking a moment to pause and calc it real quick. I think this is an easy 2-1. There's really not any risk in taking. This one I'd just take. Yep. And we found another horse, which is insane. Because now we actually get to divide our swings even more. We get to go like 7, 7, 7. And if he does successfully counter all 3, we can double horse. And if he only counters 1, then we can do the 8s. I think technically it's actually always mathematically better to do the double horse, but I'd have to double check. I think Christian is going to die this turn. Ooh. Actually, he can live. He can live. It's an uphill battle to live, but he can live. A guide I was watching said you start 8 here. Not something I agree with, but I'll be interested in seeing if Kevin agrees or if he starts with the good old 7. I would be shocked if he started with any number other than 7. But I've been wrong before. He's in the finals. He's going to work. Oh, he does start 8. Wow, that's really interesting to me, actually. Why do we start 8s? I mean, Christian, I think you just take here, right? We found a brick. Okay, maybe we do have to double 2 this then. Oh no, he is taking. Let me think. Okay. Double 2 in here feels pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. Really? Kevin started 8s here. I'm gonna map this out. I'm gonna map this out. After this is all done, we're gonna go fucking... We're gonna spend a lot of time on this. Because I'm actually truly shocked he started with an 8. But I mean, Kevin's going to Worlds, you know? He's a goat of the game, so he knows more than me. I mean, come on, brother. We're always countering this. Bro, we're always countering this. What? I mean, I actually think it technically makes no difference if we counter or not. You can block if you want, I think. I think actually low-key maybe you are supposed to block. I'd have to count it. We can count that too. We'll count every single deviation of this spot. Okay. Low-key, I feel like Kevin's cooking. He's looking to go another 8 here. That ass, I think that's what he's thinking about. I think we just want to split 3 ways here. We have how much Dawn remaining? We have 6. So to me, this is a 6-7-7 moment. To me. That's my inclination, is to go 6-7-7. Once again, he disagrees. 9-9. And Kevin wins. Okay. 6-7-7 and 9-9 are the same thing. They both take 2-2-1 to counter out of. So it actually didn't matter if you went 9-9 or not. Maybe that's the reason why he starts with the 8s. Okay, let's map this shit out. First of all, are we supposed to counter this shit? If we take, they can just go 3, 6. That's 13. 5, 13. We give 1K. We go 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we die if we do that. I think we're always dead here. I think finding this brick killed us. I think off of our draw and off of our life, we found brick 1K, which is not good enough in this sort of spot. Okay. So let's think about how Kevin's line went. Okay. He went 8-8, which got a block and 2 2Ks here. And we have to give 2 2Ks. Because if we don't, they go 999. Or wait, or did we not give the 2 2Ks? We took. Which means we go 999. So Kevin's line, the way it ends up is if Christian takes. How many cards does he have in hand? He has 7 at the time of this second take. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he has 7. So at the time of us going 999, which is when we take this line, it takes 4 2Ks and it takes 2 1Ks for a total of 10K combo. 10K combo across what is that? 6 cards. Okay. If we instead do the horse or double horse maneuver, we go 7. He currently has 5 cards in hand. Okay, we go 7. Now he has 3, or he blocks or he takes. If he blocks or he takes, I feel like we're pretty thrilled because we accomplished the same thing that the 8 did, but with 1 less Dawn. So if we start 7, let's say, okay, we start 7, he gives us 2 cards. We go 7 again. This time we imagine he will block. So now he has 4 cards in hand. Now we have these 3. If we do the horse, we have 5 Dawn left. So it's like a 7 and 3 8s. Okay. Let me do it a simpler way. Okay. Let's give the opponent the benefit of the doubt and say that they are fortunate enough. God, he only has 5 cards in hand, man. He's gonna have to take a 7 or block. He's gonna have to take or block, right? When we go 7 7 7, a 7 always takes a block or a life when we start that way. Like it always does. Whereas here, the life was gobbled up by 8s. So we go 7 7 7. Let's say though, okay, so 2 7s, he combos, right? He really has to combo out of 3 swings. So maybe that's why we start with 8s. If he combos out of the 2 7s, he then has to take a 7. And now he has 2 cards in hand. And now if we go 888, now we go 888, and his 2 cards in hand. So he'll eventually have 3 cards in hand and have to counter double 2 is how my shit ends up. So at that point, he's given us 2-1, 2-1, 2-2. So that's 4 2Ks, 2-1, 2-1, 2-2, and 2 1Ks. You know, this is making me feel like this shit all ends up in the same place. But I feel like when you start with the 8s, he has no reason to not just like block off the rip. So you're kind of bailing him out because he gets to draw a card off this. And then like when you go 8, he has more reason to take this. And like I feel like we didn't gain anything by doing these 8s earlier. Huh. This is really interesting to me. This is like really, 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 really interesting to me. I don't know. If anyone is like really tapped in and you know what this is, like let me know. Big congratulations to Kevin having an insane year. I mean, winning a regional after very recently. I'm pretty sure Kevin is the one who won the finals with Blackbeard versus Angelo, friend of the channel, Angelo. But congratulations to Kevin. Congratulations to Christian. This was a really interesting watch. I appreciate you all so much for watching. If you would like to help support the channel for me to make videos like this, please check out my Metafy in the description and consider being a member. Appreciate you all so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.